Good morning, children. So, in the last class, we discussed the land, different types of land, means the topographical divisions seen on the surface of the earth. That means there may be plains, plateaus, mountains, hills, valleys, all these things we can see on the surface. And in today's class, we are discussing the land use pattern. What do you mean by land use? And what are the factors determining land use, and what are the problems related with land use pattern? Okay, shall we go to the lesson? Okay, right. So simply we can say land use is use of land for different purposes, utilizing the available land for different purposes. That means the human beings are using land for different purposes. For example, for agriculture we are using, then forestry, for mining, then building houses, then roads, construction of roads, setting up of industries. All these are taking place on the surface. That means people are using the land for these purposes. What are the purposes, or for what we are using? Yes, we can say yes, agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses and construction work, then for making roads, then setting up of industries. All these are taking place on the land. Means the land resources are utilized in several manners by the human beings. For satisfying our needs, we are using land for several purposes. Okay, so these are the important uses. Then let us check what are the factors which determine land use pattern. Okay, so you can see some factors determine land use. Okay, the first one is topography. Topography means the type of landforms on the surface, that is topography, or the physical features, geographic features like plains, plateaus, that we already saw in the previous class, that is topography. The type of soil, different types of soils we have. Just for example, in India we have 6 type of major types in India, 6 type of soil, like alluvial soil, red soil, black soil, laterite soil, then arid and desert soil, mountain and forest soil. These are the 6 different types of soil classification in India. Like that, the type of soil also determining the land use of a particular place. For example, so if the soil is alluvial type, that means the fertile soil may be there, so the agriculture will be the important activity, economic activity of the people living there, like that. So for example, forest, so the type of soil is rich in humus, but it is not a good terrain for agriculture. Like that, soil is an important factor in determining the land use. The next one is climate, means which type of climate that land is belong to. Means maybe desert climate, means very hot, and availability of water is very less, means rainfall is very less. Then if it is very cold like snow capped mountains, so the land use may be disturbed. So that is also, the climate is also a determining factor. Then availability of minerals, so some may be rich in mineral deposits. Okay, for example, in India, the state of Jharkhand, it is called mineral state of India. That is why availability of different types of minerals and ores are there. That is why industrial development will be high. Okay, so availability of minerals. Then next, about the water supply, availability of water. So that is a very important determining factor of land use in a particular place. So if the place is having very much availability, means supply of water like streams or rivers may be there, so the agricultural practices may be in very high. That means the production of agricultural crops are very, that is very high. So people living in that particular places may be very high. That means the population is maybe very high. So that is about the availability of water in a particular region. The next is population and technology. Okay, the number of people living in a particular region and the technological development of that particular region means that people. So these are the important factors which determine the land use pattern of a particular region. Okay, yes. So here you can see a table showing different countries land use pattern that is given in percentage. Okay, so please go through the table that is given in your textbook itself. You can go through that. So here given so many countries: Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, like that. So cropland, pasture, forest and other use, these are the important land use pattern in these countries, which is given here in this table. So for example, we are taking India. Cropland in India is 57 percentage. Then pastoral land, that means the area where animals are raised. They are the land which is meant for this cattle. Okay, that is 4 percentage. Then what about forest? Only 22 percentage. Then for other uses means construction work for making roads, buildings, setting these industries and all these purposes we are using for 17 percentage. So in this, from this table you can understand that the cropland in India is very high as compared to other countries. See, Australia only 6 percentage, Brazil 9, Canada 5 percentage, and China 10 percentage, France 35. Like that, it is very high. But what about India? That is 57 percentage cropland is available in India. That means agricultural field. Okay, land under different types of crops. Then pasture is comparatively low in India. Then how this cattle they are fed, may be provided with some other fodder and all. Okay, then what about other countries? Pasture land is very high in Australia. Look here, 56 percentage of land is under pasture, means grazing land for cattle. And listen, under forest, 67 percentage of the total land area of Japan is under forest. As we know, Japan is a small country, but in area wise, we can say Russia is having the highest percentage of, not percentage, area wise, Russia is having the highest percentage in this forest, means more for land is under forest in Russia. But when we are taking the area, it is in Japan. The 67 percentage of Japan's land area is under forest. So there should be 33 percentage of the total land area of a country must be in forest. That is important for ecological balance. Okay, but in India only 22 percentage is under forest. Okay, then next, for other users, Canada is leading 52 percentage. That means that particular country may be very industrialized or civilized. That is why 52 percentage of the total land area of Canada is under other purposes than cropland or pasture or forest. 52 percentage. That means for construction work, making buildings and all, setting industries, then for constructing roads and railways. Okay, so that is the different countries and their percentage of area, which is divided into different categories. So that is the land use pattern given in this particular table. So please go through the table in the textbook also. Okay. So these land resources can be classified on the basis of ownership. Means there are two types of land resources on the basis of ownership. They are private and community land. Private and community land. Private means, yes, that is owned by individuals. Then what about community? Community land means that is owned and managed by community as a whole. That means for common purpose. So that is why this particular type of community land, they are known as common property resources. Common property resources. From the name itself, you can understand it very well. That means mainly meant for common uses like collecting fodder, means food for the cattle, then fruits, nuts, or medicinal herbs and all, or honey. That is all from this community property or common property resources. Okay, these are the two types of resources on the basis of ownership. Which are the two types? Private owned and community resources. So community land is also known as common property resources. So next we are going to a very important topic. That means for satisfying the needs of the increasing population, we have to convert the available land into some other areas. That means for people and their demands are ever growing, but the available land is very limited. That means we couldn't increase the available land. Can we? No, we couldn't increase that limited land. Means we have to be very careful in land use pattern. That means whenever we are considering land as a resource, we have to be much more careful. You may have heard this news in the television and this newspaper about land reclamation and all. മലയാളത്തിൽ ഞാൻ പറയുകയാണ്, ഈ വയൽ നികത്തിയിട്ട് ഫ്ലാറ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കി അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ഒരുപാട് പ്രോബ്ലംസ് നിങ്ങൾ കേട്ടില്ലേ, ഒരുപാട് ന്യൂസ്. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് എ മേജർ ഇഷ്യൂ. മീൻസ് ഇൻ ഓർഡർ ടു പ്രൊവൈഡ് facilities for the tremendous increasing population, we have to convert these areas under farmland or under forest cover. We have to convert this land, means for good for the people. That means for constructing their habitat or for building roads or constructing these industries and all. We have to convert this available land under agriculture or from forest. We have to clear all these things and we have to convert this land. So that is a main important problem now we are facing. Okay, that means they lead to so many ecological problems. You may heard about landslides or soil erosion. This is a very common problem. Then soil degradation, the fertility of the soil may degraded or diminished due to overuse of chemical fertilizers or pesticides. So all these are problems or threat to our land resources. Let us check them. So here you can see some important problems. Okay, land degradation, then landslides, then soil erosion and desertification. That may be a newer one. Desertification means due to this deforestation or availability, lack of water resources, that particular area may convert into desert in due course of time. It may take too much time, but in due course of time, maybe after 100 or 50 years, that particular area will become a desert or a fallow land. So that is desertification. All these are some of the problems or the threats the land resources are now facing. Okay, then what we can do to improve the land resources or to maintain the ecological balance, that we can discuss. So listen children, afforestation. Have you heard about this afforestation? Yes, afforestation means planting more trees. Then how these trees are helping the land resources? So this forest or the afforestation process will check the soil erosion. Means the topsoil may be removed where the forest cover or the vegetative cover is very less. So we have to plant more and more trees and plants. Then land reclamation. Then regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, and also we have to check on overgrazing. So these are the important methods that we can conserve, that we can make use this conserving land resources. So afforestation, land reclamation, regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, and checking overgrazing. So these are the important measures that we can take in order to protect or conserve the land resources. So that is all for today. So next class we can discuss more about this particular problems in the textbook. It is given a case study is also there, and what are the measures taken to conserve or to protect these problems or the land resources from these problems. Okay, so I'm winding up here. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.